Hello guys, it's Jonathan here doing another Beyblade discussion. This time I'll ask the question, what will CX look like? So, we already know CX will come out in March, and it will be the third line of Beyblade X, and, well, based on the name, a lot of people are assuming it will be Custom X, which I think is fairly, well, understandable. Now, before I get into this video, I could say, CX could be anything. Like, CX could be absolutely anything. Everything I say in this video could be totally wrong. But I feel like it's an interesting idea to talk about anyway before it comes out, so. That said, let's go into some of these ideas here. Now, a lot of these aren't mutually exclusive. You can do a lot of these and, well, it just works. So you can do multiple of these together. So let's go and go through some of these. So first up here, removable gear chips. So having gear chips that you can remove from the blade, possible. With BX bays, they're removable. UX bays, I made them stationary with no cover. So I guess the next step for that would just be removable gear chips. The good part about this would just be, I guess, extra customization. The bad part is it doesn't actually do anything at all. So that kind of suck. Now the second thing they could do is having the plastic part be removable. Again, you could do this in conjunction with gear chips, as I said, but anyway. So of course the plastic itself, you could have, like this part underneath be removable. So, I mean, the good part is, you know, again, more customization. Nice. Problem. Bays like, well, a lot of bays actually, but I guess one particularly notable one would be Wise Tiger. Take this apart. And as you can see, this fills in gaps in the metal. There's a lot of blades like this, and I don't know how these would work anymore. Like, would there just be special points on every single blade to accommodate this? I doubt it. So I feel like they would have to just say underneath. And again, the problem is, while it could be cool, well, first of all, it kind of could harm design, but also, it's kind of useless, so I could see them doing, like, plastic or gear chips be changed out, but the problem is, again, if that's all, it's pretty much a worthless change. So I hope they don't go that route. If I can put this thing back together, that'd be great. Anyway. The last big thing that you can kind of do in conjunction with these would be metal. Like, the metal parts of the blades could be swapped around. I don't know how you'd make sense of that with Black Shell and Whale Wave, but as an example, yeah. You can have metal parts. Have the metal parts themselves kind of divided into two different parts, and like top and bottom or something probably. And that would allow you to change them up. Probably would involve plastic and gear chips also being removable. Good way to change with the blades, like you could do with that. The problem is, this would probably kill blade design. Blade design would probably suck if they did this, so overall, I feel like regardless of how you try and talk about a divided layer, you either run into the problem of killing design, or it's a useless change, so I don't think you really win here. So I personally do hope that CX doesn't do this, doesn't have customizable blades, because I just don't see it being all that interesting. Again, maybe I'm wrong, maybe they do customizable blades, maybe it's cool. We gotta wait till like March, or probably February, to get a teaser, but yeah, I don't like these methods. However, there is a method that would make sense for CX being kind of customizable, divided parts, that I think could actually be really cool. And that is pulling from 4D. Yep. Going back to Metal Fight. Because I think bays like this, you could do a lot here. So, look at Fangon. We'll take apart this thing to get the Fang wheel. So this is the metal wheel, and they could do something similar with blades. So you have two parts here. You can't customize these with any other blades, but when you take it apart, you can take the metal apart, and you can like flip this over, and now Fang is in counter mode. So that's a nice use case for that, and I think, yes, if you have the blades divided and it's in a way that only works with that blade, then it's fine. The designs work. You don't have to worry about customization. You don't have to worry about compatibility. It just works, and I think that would be great. So Fang Leon, I think, is just a really nice, just simple example. Just flip over a part, and yeah, it just works. So really, really nice. Now another example here is J Jupiter. Now I do need to state, I do think Gimmicks will maybe not be present on CX base. I'll get to that in a little bit, but something you do is if you have Gimmicks. So take out J Jupiter here, and with this, of course, you have the four metal balls that all, you know, move around and whatnot. But if you orient this differently, so basically all you have to do is just move Jade over from there to there, and now all the metal balls are locked inwards, which is a very, very interesting. So depending on just a slight change in position, is basically gimmick or no gimmick, which is very, very cool. So again, you could do a lot of things like that. So yeah, if there's a gimmick, you can change up how it works depending on position as well, not just the like the actual like blade design and stuff. So I think that would be really cool, and I think that pulling from 40 bays would work very, very well. This is what I want divided blades to be. Again, assuming CX is divided blades. I know that you could do like bits, ratchets, whatever, but I feel like CX would be blade focused, like UX. So yeah. Anyway, if it is blade focused and they are divided blades, I really hope it's like 40. Because again, gear chips in the plastic, who cares honestly? Metal customization, that's rough. Let's say something in mind that would actually work, but I just don't see it being all that interesting. I don't think the designs really warrant it being all that great. But yeah, if you have metal like this, like 4D, this leads to something very interesting. I think this would be very, very worthwhile, and this would make CX great. So I think pulling from 4D is the way to go. So I hope they do. But we have to wait and see. Now, one thing I gotta mention is in relation to gimmicks. So the interesting thing about gimmicks, and all my bays over here making my hands look like extremely red. I just noticed the reflection from my bays and like the launcher. Anyway, sorry, random tangent. I just noticed that on camera, but oh yeah. So gimmicks, I don't think CX bays are going to have them to start. So something to note about Beyblade is, especially Beyblade Burst. Look back at Chosets or GT. Those first few releases, they utilized the new system, but they did not utilize gimmicks. They were kind of just bare bones, trying to make, use of the new system. And then eventually, as it go on, maybe like April, May, or whatever, we would start to see gimmicks on the bays, and then they'd continue like that. Look at Chosets, for example. In March, Winning Valkyrie, Z Achilles, and Emperor Fornius, none of these layers had gimmicks. April, Bloody Longinus, no gimmick. But, of course, Crash Ragnarok did have a gimmick based on, Blaze Ragnarok, and then after that, May, June, Hassel under Archer Hercules, these had gimmicks. Of course, July, once he's like Revive Phoenix, gimmicks are in full force. But I don't think CX will start with gimmicks. I think that it's possible we won't see them on CX base for quite some time, actually. So the problem with BX base was that, well, it's not the problem, but like with BX base and UX base, right? I already talked about this before, but there's kind of a lack of divide between BX base and UX base, aside from just like the, physical design of the, blades. But functionally, they didn't feel all that different a lot of the time. Yeah, they were a little bit more dynamic, but still, it really comes, full force when you have, like, Samurai Saber, right? This has movable metal parts on the blade. So, of course, like things like, Nightmail or Silverwolf also have, movable parts on the blade. And, like, the upcoming Impact Drake has rubber. Ghost Circle, I don't think has, like, anything, but anyway. So the thing is it took until BX base started to kind of get phased out. We don't get them much anymore, right? It seems like they're about done. I think February seemed like the last BX bay, honestly. Aside from like the weird like Hasbro exclusives that are not being exclusive anymore. Aside from those, I'm not counting those, but like actual new bays. I think February will be the last one. And it took until this time where BX bays were getting phased out to actually start seeing gimmicks in UX, because of the reason I think this is because they didn't want to just eclipse BX bays and make them seem uninteresting. I think they're going to do that here again. I think we'll have gimmicks and UX bays throughout most of 2025. And CX bays won't have gimmicks, but they will have customizable blades of some sort. Again, I don't know how it's going to look. Really hoping for, again, like 4D type stuff. But I think they'll be kind of bare bones until later in 2025. Again, maybe getting to like October, maybe a little bit earlier this time. We'll see. But I think they'll wait until then. Then we'll see gimmicks start to enter the equation. Maybe you get things like, like J Jupiter or whatever. But I think CX bays will have no gimmicks to start. Maybe a little bit earlier, but still for a while, none. And then eventually when UX bays are kind of getting near their end or are already getting phased out, then we'll see them incorporate gimmicks, and now they're kind of just, more interesting than UX bays as a whole. So anyway, yeah, that's everything I gotta say. That is my kind of thoughts on CX, what I think they could do. At least some ideas. Again, they could go in a completely different route. This could be completely irrelevant in a couple months, but for now, these are my kind of thoughts on it. Kind of why I don't want to see customization between blades. I just don't think it's going to work very well. Again, it's either going to really kill design or just not be all that interesting. But I am hoping for a 40 style where, yes, the blades themselves, you can move the metal parts around on the blade and change how they work. That'd be really cool. And also, yeah, I do think gimmicks will take a while to actually find their way into CX. Just my own thoughts on that. But anyways, that's all I got for this video. Kind of just a weird discussion. And I thought it was like an interesting topic to talk about before we actually get to CX. So anyways, that's all. So thanks for watching, and bye-bye.